where you want to be. Ah. My leg in the time.
Okay. Well, I've got all the housekeeping done. How's everybody? Can you hear me?
Doing well.
Oh, good.
I have a new computer and I thought I would try zooming on it, but it appears that I have to install the Zoom client. So it says the network connection failed, and I don't know. I guess I won't do that today.
We can hear you.
I'm on my laptop right now.
Oh,
I mean, I'm on the desktop. And
Okay.
the laptop didn't go.
Well, network connection is that's what you got to solve. It's not going to get on the network without it.
Say that again?
It's an indication that you're not going to be able to get it without solving a network problem, which means it's a Wi-Fi hookup or a plug-in or something.
Well, it's
And-
Wi-Fi.
Okay. Does the Wi-Fi work with everything else?
I thought it did, but this is really new. So I haven't tried anything else.
Okay.
Okay, I'll skip.
Okay. Well. Let's see. Nadine is not going to be joining us today, so there's no reason why we can't get started. But I think we need to wait a little bit for a few more people.
hi, Dee.
I got to. I'm getting information to send to you, but I haven't previewed it yet, so I don't know if I want to show it to you without looking at it first. So I think I will hold back on that one. All right, see. Where's my script? Here it is. I guess the people who are traveling are already left for Christmas holidays, but here's a new warning traveling that you might have to deal with. It's a new, where is it? Oh, here it is. So here's a new problem in flying you might have to deal with. And so let me go share my screen. All righty, here we go. The title of this movie is Airplane Pirates.
What's this?
It's like something on an airplane.
Why don't we have the pictures better?
Showing him something.
You would think that bystander would stop her, but no, she's just keeping out of it.
It's a spoofy thing.
Well, I guess that's there's a lot of new things to watch out for these days. Well, today I'm going to try to, cover over some of the activities that we've been going through because not everybody can go to them, or sometimes you just either schedules or other things, or you forget, or there's not enough room for you. So I'm going to try to cover some of the things that's gone over. This way, they'll be on the YouTube recording, and you'll be able to see them on channel 81, or watch them or share them with the other friends, and I'll try to get more ideas of what's going on, sharing the stuff that's going on with here at the village. So last week we had the Chimes concert, and I got a video I stole off of Facebook on that one, and I'll show you that. We got, let's see. How about that? Dee, you did a great job. You're muted though. You're muted.
You did say
Can't
something.
hear you. Press the space bar, that'll work.
Hmm.
No. Well, yeah, oh, there you go.
Here I am. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate you showing that.
Well, we appreciate all the work you put into that. And there, we need to share that among everyone else around here because the attendance wasn't that big, but it sure was a nice.
Attendance I thought was excellent this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were only
Well-
2 or 3 empty chairs.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, it's good.
So that was great.
Well, that's the way it should be, and we keep working on it here.
Yeah.
Then the other event that was pretty well attended was the Christmas tea. And let's see if I can, Christmas tea. I'm going to show you some photos that I grabbed. Whoops, I can't do it yet. Wait. So this is the protocols, the etiquette for Christmas tea, just to, I guess, to get everybody on the same page and tell them you don't have to wear formal hats and everything else. Here was the actual layout of the tables, the settings, and the food, a little more of a close-up of the sandwiches and salmon and all the goodies. And then here's some of the people who attended. And it looks like it was pretty well attended. Didn't have too many. I think I counted 3 guys in the whole group there. So There's Bill. And there's Terry. And there's the other Bill. Oh, I didn't see Bernie there. Okay, it's 4 guys. So that was a rather nice event. I guess everybody, this is new to everybody. It was the first time they did that. What did you guys think about it?
It was great, really. We've done it once before.
Oh. Well, that's good. So that was Christmas tea. And of course, we had Joe Tater and Beth Sussman at the end for entertainment that week. And then, of course, there were the Holiday Lights bus rides. And I didn't get any, I took some terrible pictures last week, so I'm not going to show them again. But I'm sure other people have probably got better pictures. I didn't see any posted anywhere. So also we have, so we got bus rides coming up this week. We also got the Beach City Band on Monday night. We had the Walnut Christmas Party. And let me show you a little about that. Here's the tent that we went out to get our drinks and hors d'oeuvres, and it really was cold outside. So it was kind of hard to stay out there and socialize when it's only in the high 40s, low 50s. So a lot of us came back into the Red Chair Lounge. Here's the kitchen staff, pretty much getting their holiday pictures with Santa. And then the big staff who were doing all the serving, there's Les Bishop, our pastor, and Kim, who is responsible for a lot of that. And of course, Ryan.
Who did the ice sculpture?
Yeah. Well, I think it's plastic, but I'm not sure.
No,
It was a friend of Kim's.
What?
Kim arranged for the ice sculpture.
Was it a real ice?
It was,
Yes.
it was always wet.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize
touched it.
that.
Yeah, it
It
was.
was
cold.
good the next morning.
Wow. Okay. You see a little of our outside decorations here. We got, see, that's Ann, and this is
Barbara,
Barbara
right?
Olson.
Barbara Olson, right? Some other folks taking care of their food after we went through the buffet. And I guess that's all I got. So
Good.
it was a nice party, but I guess we need to I'm trying to work on things while I'm doing this stuff too. The problem was the hors d'oeuvre tent was so far away in such a cold environment. It would have been nice if we had it like they used to do it, where there was an extension to the Red Chair Lounge. But they couldn't have done that because they had the buffet line in the Red Chair Lounge. But other times they had the buffet line over in the mirror room. And if they had tried to work that out, it probably would have been a little more smoother going, because there's a lot of congestion in the tent, and then you really couldn't stay out there to enjoy things and so forth. So it was a little confusing, But I understand they're planning to do something else with the tent for New Year's. So maybe that's one reason why they put it outside that area. So
I think-
this is Monday
the-
morning quarterbacking here. But it was a nice party.
Bob, I
And,
would say I spent quite a lot of time in the tent. I wasn't cold. I came late, so there wasn't a crowd.
Oh.
I could easily walk up to the table and get food.
Oops, it's locked.
Okay.
Yes, I think they had the tent heated.
It was, oh yes.
Oh, it was heated, but
And they had a trio playing and
So cold.
Oh, the trio was great.
yeah,
okay. Well,
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. Wonderful hors d'oeuvres and drinks and eggnog and all that. It was just uncomfortable for me because I had to go find a chair, and I didn't. There weren't any in the tent,
Oh, yeah, they had standing up tables.
so that was awkward for me.
It was for me too, Bob.
All righty. Shall we? That was a Christmas party. And of course, the other thing yesterday was the birthday show. And this is the first show I've had in 2 years, almost 2 years or whatever. So for the people who couldn't quite make it, I'm going to share some photos. Well, some of these photos, these are all on Facebook. So I'm going to share these photos. And then I'll do a little bit more. So these are the birthday recipients. And this is a cast of the birthday show itself. And I was surprised to see Lynn there, who from our chorale, who did a couple of live solos. Really, really nice. And the new addition, of course, is Terry Taylor. And of course, Connie's an old timer there. So I think Terry is the only new face I saw there. And then these are the pictures that Judy put on Facebook of the cast. Really nice, clear pictures of showing what's going on. But she couldn't put the music up because Facebook will just, drop the whole thing if you do, because the music is coming off of recordings, which are usually copyrighted. There's Terry doing his little thing. And this is the hit of the show. This is a really funny little scene. Well, I'll show you a little clip of it a little bit more. And our own Gary Elvis here. And then here's Lynn singing a song or two, and the final song. So let me play a little of the birthday show clip, so you get a sample of the music. I'm not going to do the whole show because it's way too long.
But the fire is so delightful. Since we've no place to go, let it snow. Let it snow. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad, but so be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out, better not cry, better not pout. Tell you why, Santa Claus is coming to town. Christmas past came on his way. Oh, now beneath his cap, jet black hair, sideburns and down there, poor silver belt around his waist. Then with his swivel of his hip, he saw the girl his lover lip with a look that said Merry Christmas on his face. Then with a karate kick, he curled around, saw him right and something down. He took the note and he stuffed it in my sock. They put a ring under the tree. Just before he turned to leave, he hummed a little bit, Jailhouse Rock. He's a king, Christmas, alive, well, and riding in his sleigh. And I just can't help believing those cowboys ain't the secret, 'cause the king of Christmas passed me on his way. Then he pulled up his collar and flipped his hair, just into thin air. I saw the sequins glitter on his coat. That 45 that they down with Santa Claus is back in town, and I believe all the written words he wrote. While I live rock and roll, it said, and postage stamps would say I did. And at the bottom he signed his famous name. Well, some say the king was put to rest, but being Santa, we know best, and I bet somewhere there's elves who say the same. Oh, he's a king, king of Christmas, alive and well and riding in his sleigh. And as I heard that sleigh rev up and fly, through the night there came a cry, Santa Claus has left the building.
The stars are brightly shining. It is the night of the dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt his worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. On your knees, for hear the angel voices, for was born. Oh, night divine, oh, night divine.
He'll be coming down the chimney now. It's the holiday season, and Santa Claus has got a toy for every good girl and good little boy. Santa is a great big bundle of joy when he's coming down the chimney down. When he's coming down the chimney down, he'll have a big fat pack upon his back, and lots of goodies for you and for me. So leave a peppermint stick for old Saint Nick hanging on the Christmas tree. It's the holiday season, so hoop-dee-doo and dickory-dock. Don't forget to hang up your sock, 'cause just exactly at 12 o'clock he'll be coming down the chimney down. He'll be coming down the chimney down. He'll have a big fat good party's back, and lots of goods for you and for me. So leave a peppermint stick for old Saint Nick hanging on the Christmas tree. It's the holiday season, so hoop-dee-doo and dickory-dock. Don't forget to to hang up your sock coats just exactly at 12 o'clock. You'll be coming down the chimney, coming down the chimney, coming down the chimney, down. Happy holiday, happy holiday, happy holiday, happy holiday, while the merry bells keep ringing. Happy holiday to you. Happy holiday, happy holiday, happy holiday.
All right, so that was a quick summary of the birthday show, and it was really nice to hear everybody get on stage and talking to all the newcomers who had never seen one. They really were thrilled to see all of that. I don't know if they're going to sign up and become members or not, but they really enjoyed it. So it was really great. And they really recognized all the work you guys put into that show to pull it off. A lot of spirit and dedication and everything else. It goes unnoticed many times. So I think you all guys really deserve a lot of praise. So, well, of course, tomorrow we're going to have our chorale concert, and let me show you a video that we have just to give you a sample of the chorale's capability here, and you'll really get excited. So you'll make sure you show up if you've signed up, and if you haven't signed up and there's a few left spots, you'll jump for the parts that are left here. So here's a sample of our holiday. This is quite a chorale for Walnut Village to put on, isn't it? Actually, this is the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. Well, that's a benchmark for us to try to live up to. Wonderful choir. There's about 385 volunteers that belong to the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. And I don't know how, the band is probably another 100 people too. But it's if you've never been to Salt Lake to see them, you put it on your bucket list. They are something else to see if you love music. It sets up a benchmark for our chorale to live up to.
Mhm.
Oh, anyhow, it's Judy.
I have an announcement to make. There is a positive case at Walnut Village. And because of that, the chorale will be wearing masks tomorrow.
Oh, my gosh.
Unfortunately, we had been told we could go without masks, but because of the positive case, we have to wear our masks tomorrow. So please pass the word around. I will be calling everyone I haven't recently talked to this afternoon. And I had another announcement related to it, but I've forgotten what it was, so I'll get back to you when I.
Sure. Okay. But we do have
Oh, there are.
the two sessions, right?
Most of the seats, we have 50 people signed up for 1 o'clock performance, so there's only 10 seats left for that. There are more seats left at the 3 o'clock performance. I think we have 30 people in the 3 o'clock. So there's
Okay.
lots of seats in the 3 o'clock performance.
Yeah, and the concert was just under an hour, so
Right.
there should be no problem there.
Right.
Okay, well,
And, we
I'm
did-
not happy about that mask.
Right.
We were just celebrating how we didn't have to wear masks the other day. So it's a shame that it kind of goes back to the other things. But that COVID is, we got to do something about it and live with it,
We're doing is
Uh,
not working.
all the rules. So that's a shame. Okay, the other couple of things coming up on Sunday, there's an outing for the All-American Boys Chorus. That's in Santa Ana, I believe, and it's going to be an afternoon concert from three or so till 4, probably a 2-hour concert. And the people going there have to remember to order their dinner for takeout for pickup at 6:30, because that we won't be back on time for a regular dinner if we're going to go there.
Yeah.
Uh,
I talked to Kay Rogers about it. She wondered why I hadn't signed up for it. And I said that I was concerned that maybe the boys would not be wearing masks. And I didn't know if I wanted to put myself in a position where there'd be 100 boys singing at me without masks. So
yeah.
I don't know if she knows for sure, and I don't know if there's any way to find out ahead of time. But if you're concerned about that, I would take that into consideration.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the audience will be masked up, and we do have a new mask mandate in California now for all indoor activities. So the Department of Health and Social Services, whatever
Let me
he had
clarify, that's all public indoor activities.
all the public, yeah. So things aren't getting better because the new Omicron virus is a lot more contagious, although it has different symptoms. Apparently, it doesn't attack your lungs as bad, and so the severity of a lot of the people catching it is less, but it's highly contagious, and people really need to have the booster shot to sort of fend it off. So I'm not going to get into all the details of that. We may have to see other changes here at the village too, if they come down and tell us we got to do this or that and something else. But so far, I think we're in pretty good shape, except for the positive case sort of throws a wrench into some things maybe.
Yeah, there was a second test done, and we won't have the results until late tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I didn't really see a memo today. I don't know if it was, is it out yet or not? Has anybody seen a memo? What's going on? I guess they're running a little bit behind because Teresa's not here to run it through the system. So I guess we'll have to keep our eyes and ears open over what's coming up. I would assume we're going to be doing testing on Tuesday, as we have been doing, things like that. Let's see. Coming up this week, of course, we have Christmas Eve and Christmas activities, but I haven't seen any details on those yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. On Monday evening, we're going to have the residents open houses for the people who signed up. And there's, I don't know, half a dozen people who signed up to show their apartments off. And there are others that come by to see what's going on and see the decorations and have a few refreshments and check out all the things in the apartments and so forth. I am planning to be on the list for open house, and I think I'm on the 7 o'clock circuit. So I hope to see you guys come by, and should have some eggnog for you guys. Next, this is the last village Zoom session until next year. I'm going to take off Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So if you don't mind, I'll spend the time with my family, and you guys have to just get along without me here for a while. That's kind of presumptuous, isn't it? Any other good news or whatever going on around here at the village? Dee, yeah.
I want to know what's going on with the DirecTV listings. Does anybody know? They haven't been up for a couple of weeks.
The whole certain channels, or what do you mean by?
Well, I don't get I put one up and nothing comes. I just get, all the stuff. It doesn't come, and it used to come up.
We'll put in a work request to the desk and they can go and jiggle that in the communication center.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Well, I think it's,
Yeah, it sounds like I'm the only one then.
no, it's been,
Realize that.
I asked Nadine about it a month ago, I think. It's something that I thought came from our vendor. But there's no programming. There's no listing on Channel 1 of what the programs are, what the content of the programs are.
No, that's changed, Judy.
I haven't looked for it recently, but these,
No, it got fixed late last week,
oh,
and to me it seems to be working okay now.
okay. So Dee, have you tried it today or yesterday?
No, I did. I haven't. I'll have to try it again.
Let me go look.
It's on right now. I can see it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was something, and that was a vendor problem. And I guess after we complained about it, they went out and got the vendor to fix it.
Hmm.
And I think I reported it fixed last Friday, but I'm not too sure. But there are, I know, TV problems. I was talking to a fellow who just moved in a couple of days ago, and he's having all kinds of problems with his TV, and he's always having all kinds of problems with his internet, and he can't get on the system when he wants to get on. And he's a stock trader, and he wants to get on there and can't do his thing. So he's upset. And I said, well, Sandy's our contact for fixing that.
Yeah.
And let him know. And if she doesn't do it, then just push it on up the line, up to Teresa. I'm to Nadine. I say Teresa's not there anymore. Yeah. So any other things going on around here we should know about? You guys are the source of what's going on. Yeah, Doug?
This afternoon at 1:30, we distributed almost $59,000 to our employees through the Employee Appreciation Fund. And I am very grateful for people who donated to that and helped us out, because we had many employees come up to us and say thank you. And they greatly appreciate that.
Yeah,
That's great.
that's one of the few perks we can give them. And it's really nice, helps them out, and it's sort of a win-win situation. We help them out, they help us out, and so forth.
Kind of
So-
like what you used to have at the savings and loan called a Christmas club, and you'd put money in during the year and then you could take it out at Christmas, and they
Yeah.
get the bonus when they can buy presents for people.
Yeah. All righty. The other thing while I'm talking, of course, Joe Lefevers has sent me another note today about what's going on with our supply chain problem. And I thought I'd share that with you, if I can find it. Where's the supply chain problem?
Say something now.
Hey, Bob,
Yes.
while you're looking, could I ask Doug Boston, how many people share in that employee fund?
Don, I really don't have a number for you, but I can tell you that it is a majority of our residents. I got a lot of checks this year.
No, I'm not asking about who paid or who contributed. How many people collected?
How many-
Oh, you mean the recipients?
yeah,
Yes.
recipient.
We distributed 116 checks this year.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Mhm.
Wow.
It's about half as much as we did when we had the care center. The care center, we distributed over 250 checks when we had the care center in operation. And it has dropped almost a little less than half of that, but there was a lot of employees over there. But one of the things that was very different about that too is that the residents contributed the lion's share of the funds that were also shared with the care center. But the participants and the clients in the care center very seldom ever gave any money towards the employee appreciation fund. So we're able to give a larger amount to each of our employees now that the residents are contributing to employees who actually work in the village.
And do we still limit that to $5.99?
Yes, but if we go over $599,
Yeah.
we have to issue a 1099, and then it's taxed, which lowers the amount that they would get. And the paperwork is incredible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I found this. This is a report that Joe sent me from Bloomberg about what's going on in the ports, and what they were saying now. See what the title is. Come on. The empty container problem is getting worse, even though the politician says that, everything's just getting better and better and better. They're trying to take credit for something that doesn't exist. Problem is they're drowning in empty containers in the harbor, in the yards, because there's no way of getting them out of there unless they find a ship to take them away. And they can't put them on ships until they unload the ships, and they can't unload the ships if there's no space to the dock because they're full of full containers, because the full containers can't get out unless the trucks come in and give them an empty container. And so it's sort of you're chasing your tail with this whole thing. It's not an easy solution. And anyone who says everything's, just getting better and better and better is not really telling you the whole truth. They're drowning in empty containers in the harbor and the trucking yards because there's no place to get rid of them if the ships can't move. They took about 7 ships, I guess they call them ghost ships, which they just put all containers and load them up. They got rid of 10,000 or so containers a few weeks ago. It helped for a few weeks, but now we're back to where we are. The shortage of productivity and the inefficiency, not the drivers and the trucks. They're not using the people and the trucks and the containers very well because it's all done on a manual scheduling basis. And that's causing the supply chain issues with empty containers, and it's becoming worse. Of course, the White House just announced that they're going to solve the trucking problem the driver problem by having an overhaul of the licensing process for commercial drivers. And they're looking at the symptoms, they're not looking at the problems. We have folks who are making 1 turn a day when they used to be doing 2 or 3 turns a day in a normal scenario, he says. A lot of that's to do with chassis availability, congestion behind the gates, and those empty containers. They're all over the place and there's no place to go. And so on and so forth. So it's, you get into, listen to all these other things and they're talking about, they're trying to fix all these things, but it ain't happening. So what does this mean? Well, let me show you one thing it might mean here. I had I picked where stop there. Gotta find what I'm looking for here.
Bob, I have a question while you're doing that.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Our daughter was just visiting us from Baltimore. And she said the Port of Baltimore is not operating at capacity at all. Has there been any thought about diverting some of the West Coast traffic through the Panama Canal to send it to the East Coast where possibly the ports are not operating full capacity and we could reduce some of this congestion that we have on the West Coast?
They've talked about it, but the problem is when you're trying to ship something from China, and Joe, jump in here if I'm wrong. It's hard to find ships to take the cargo because they're all booked up because they're all not moving fast enough. So the booking process is running, it's used to run a couple of months. Now it's running 4 or 5 months ahead. So if you want to change anything in the booking process, you have to do it 4 or 5 months ahead.
I
Once they
agree.
get on the ship, you can't reroute it.
To add to that, part of when the ships come in with the inbound loads, they're taking out a lot of export cargo. And so they've got to make room for the empties on the ship and reduce some of the export. And to answer Doug's problem, if you go all the way around to the East Coast, you got to ship all that stuff overland back here again. So there's another problem with the rails. It's just, as Bob said, we're chasing our tail and nothing is the 24/7 routine they want to do. The politicians wear rose-colored glasses and they're not addressing the problem. The problem is get rid of the empties to free the chassis. Pretty simple.
Yeah. So here's
Got an idea?
what is, oh, John, go ahead, John.
I'd like to ask Joe, when the legislature passed Prop 5 and made gig workers employees, that affected 70,000 truck drivers. How much of that gig economy, if it could make a comeback, would relieve the problem that we're facing now?
Are you talking about the AB 5 legislation to make all of the owner operators
Yes.
employees?
Yes.
You're going to destroy the industry
You destroy
because the
it.
prices are going to go sky high. You have to pay union wages. That is not a good solution. In fact, it hasn't really been resolved in the courts yet. It's still an open case.
Okay.
Well, that's my feeling, Joe, is that we've got 70,000 truck drivers out there who are available, but who are not employees of anybody. And yet they have a truck. I mean, they have a cab that they can drive and hook up to. We got to get rid of that problem by eliminating that Prop 5 stuff.
Well, the drivers are willing to drive. If you don't have a chassis on, it doesn't do you any good to go to the port because you can't, all the containers have to have wheels.
Oh.
And what's happening, a lot of the empty containers at the port are all sitting on chassis.
Oh.
Until you get those off of there, there's no chassis in the pool. So you've handicapped drivers. They're willing to pull. They'll work. You just got the right equipment.
Well, I read somewhere that whoever owns the container gets fined so much per day by leaving it somewhere where it's not doing anything.
That was the latest thing by the government wants to fine ocean carriers after they unload their containers, $100 a day, every day, for not taking their containers off of the terminal. But think of this, when you unload the full container, it now belongs to the terminal, and it's up to them to get the drayman to take it away. You need the chassis, etc. What the idea is half good, except it's being executed backwards. What you need to do is find the ocean carriers, if you want, for leaving empty containers on the terminals. Get them out of there. Once you get those off there, you're going to uncork a big part of the supply chain.
And where do you think they would go?
Back to China. They got to go back to your origin points.
That works for me.
That's where they're going. Back to where they came from.
So the ships don't make any money though, taking empty containers back.
But they're gouging everybody so much right now that they can afford to do this.
I don't want to get political, sir.
No, but it is. It's very political, and the whole thing's just a quagmire. But that's the simple solutions. You got to get the empties, send them back. They don't have to cut off all of the export. They just need to make provisions to take a few of the empties every time they come.
Okay, now a word question. Has anybody ever considered all of those empty containers to be used as homeless homes that are put together like that thing down on Garden Grove?
Oh yeah, there's several companies that do that now, that when the container is, let's say, no longer serviceable for the ocean stuff, it's still a very good container. They're all open to the market and use them all over for people to live in. They make, in Las Vegas, on the east end of Las Vegas, downtown, there's a whole big area that's made of containers.
Yeah.
To me.
But we can't get rid of the containers because we're going to need them for the next time we want to ship goods from China. We just
Well, yeah,
need
they've gotta
to
go
get them
back.
out of here.
They're looking for the empties to get more full stuff, so.
I think
Yeah.
EA can
All righty. Well, we don't want to solve the problem, but I wanted to have you to have another view of the problem from a different point of view, okay? So here's the problem from another point of view. We have poor Saint Nick,
no clue who it's from.
and Saint Nick is grounded. And he had a crash landing. And he's waving his hand because he wants to get a tow. And there's no sign of the fleeing rain there. And the passersby don't want to pick him up. And he's looking for how to get out of this. And he has to get back to the shop to make substitutes for all that stuff that's stalled in the supply chain. So just think, poor old Santa, he's stuck.
Yeah.
It would be a little, brown strip there.
So I don't know if you've done any Christmas shopping here yet, but everyone says, well, it's going to take 2 or 3 weeks to do this and that. Well, if you haven't got it done this week, it's not going to happen. Because even Amazon is doing miracles to deliver stuff, but after a while, it's going to say, well, they'll email you a picture of what you're going to get, and you'll get it next year.
Well, I have no clue who this is from.
Bob, can you mute Betty?
Mute?
We're getting some back talk from,
Oh, okay.
thank you.
I got it.
Gotta write a check for your grandchildren. They
Yeah, okay.
like checks better anyway.
So not worrying about all that stuff, let's go back and have some fun. I want to get you back in the Christmas spirit here. And so one of the things I came across was my daughter went to Disneyland about, I guess it was last week or so. And so she was able to take some photos. And so let me share the photos with you guys so you get an idea what the Christmas parade and the decorations look like at Disneyland if you haven't been over there recently. Hit the wrong button again. I think I know how to do this already. Okay. So here's Disneyland all decked out, Christmas trees and all the you see it's pretty well attended here. Let me see if I can. Okay, I guess that's all it. And this is the main street here with people walking up and down, and just doing their thing. Now this is a parade itself. Oh, come on. Okay. And I guys remember the little soldiers?
Nutcrackers, yes.
Oh, wait a minute, that didn't wait. I'm not doing what I want to do here. Let me. Okay, so this should be the soldiers, yeah. And welcome. This is the parade gets started. This is Small World, which I'm using as a background tonight. And you can see all the folks lined up along the side, just getting around 4 or 5 o'clock. I guess where the parade just sort of starting, the shadows is starting to fall. And all the floats coming down. A good old Mickey on the Christmas tree float. And there we have the reindeer. That's what that was a stranded Santa, what he needed. Sorry, I don't have any music to go along with this, but you can imagine that. Oh, where are we going here? These are all floats. Feliz Navidad and Merry Kakiana. Ho, ho, ho. All righty, see what's, now I got to go back to. What, it got out of sequence here. So this is actually a little video. Now, I don't know if you guys knew about it, but Small World was closed for a couple of weeks because they had electrical problem and caused by a flood of water. And we were sort of thinking, well, maybe when we had a power outage here, that might have been correlated to Disneyland where they had to shut down some power. But apparently that's not quite the case, but it had happened in a very similar time. So we were just sort of guessing maybe it was possibly.
Yeah,
the
but
same.
it was our side of the street, not the other side, so.
Yeah. So we still don't know what caused the power outage here. That's my daughter. Notice the new Mickey Mouse ears. They're shaped like Christmas balls.
Huh. Good.
And this is a really beautiful picture of the merry-go-round at sunset. So, and the big whale coming down the way. And here, the teacups. She just loves those teacups. And here's the moon over Matterhorn. A song like that, isn't there? And the castle all in blue and blue ice. Really pretty. All lit up in the evening. And that's the last one.
Just cold.
It's
So-
like blue freezing.
It looks like it's cold, doesn't it? But it just makes it, the lighting and everything else makes it look that way. Anyhow, so that's what Disneyland looks like this month, maybe a week ago. And I don't know if you got a chance to go over it. She has some employee passes, so she can go over there. Don?
Can I introduce some interesting information for those of you who don't like to walk? Disney has a parking garage that holds over 10,000 cars. Historically, they have a tram that takes customers from that garage to downtown Disney. That was shut down for most of the time of the pandemic. A couple of weeks ago, they decided, well, let's reopen that tram so that we can get the people a little happier. Guess what? Guess what? When they went to start them, they could not do it because the squirrels and the rats had eaten all the insulation off the copper wire. And the vehicles wouldn't start. Well,
Oh, boy.
there's a lot of people who are a little upset about that, but they're working on that problem. Hopefully, it will be restored very soon.
The ones that
Yeah,
rat
hopefully, yeah. Yeah, it's a shame. Yeah.
Rats.
It's a long walk for us old folks now to get around there. So I was hoping if I wanted to go, I was going to get a scooter of some sort. And they have them for rent, but the process is not exactly clear to me, so how to do it. But I'll figure it out one of these days.
A lot of the things that we do, Bob, when I see visitors going to Disneyland, I say, well, how do I get there? And I often tell them, walk down Walnut to Magic Way, turn left on Magic Way and get on the tram and ride. Well, there ain't no tram no more.
Yeah.
It'll be there soon.
Sure.
You got to take an Uber.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank your sister, Bob. Or your
Oh,
dad,
okay.
your daughter. They were good pictures.
I thanked her. I had to beg to get them too, but she's really good that way. She's inherited a lot of my photography, and I gave her my old cameras too, so she can't, no excuse.
She
So.
said,
Well, I'm about ready to call it a day. I have a few funny things to show. If anyone has any other stories to share with us before we get back here again on after the New Year's. Let's see.
Bob, I might encourage people to invite some of our new residents to dinner. We have some new residents in the village and others that have moved in fairly recently. And some of them are not being invited to dinner very often. And I think it would be good if they had invites.
That's true. Yeah, it's hard to get them to know when they don't. We don't meet them except in the hallway or something like that. The events don't have a lot of time to share, get to know and mingle with them. So it's a different situation than it used to be, where we had the lounge to mix and mingle. So.
Yeah, I would suggest that you have to actually make a plan and call them a few days ahead and look in the book in the post for the names
Yes.
and phone numbers of them.
Yeah.
Just say, I'd like to meet the new people, and I think maybe they'd like to meet me, and set it up and make it happen.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
And Ellen does a wonderful job of giving us their names and addresses so that we can call them and invite them. Well, this is the Good Neighbor group, I guess, that she does that too, or the hospitality group, whatever. Anyway, once we invite them and get them acquainted with other people, then it's up to, the rest of you to include them. And so we hope you will do that.
Yes, yes. All righty. I'll leave you with a few funny little puns to share, and we'll call it a day. So why would you put peanut butter in the road?
In the road?
It goes good with traffic jam.
Shame on you.
Now, these don't get any better, so why was the room so hot during graduation, the college graduation? 1,000 degrees packed in there.
Oh,
See, these are the things you can share when you visit your friends and you have nothing else to say.
Kilroy was here.
What do you call a baby monkey? A chimp off the old block.
oh.
Yeah, okay. This is a good one. What's a chiropractor's favorite genre of music?
Rap.
Hip hop. Hip hop.
Hip-hop.
Hip hop, not hip hop. Hip hop. Yeah. Why do crabs never give to charity?
Too cheap.
They're shellfish. Oh, here we go. What do you get if you cross a woodpecker with a carrier pigeon? No takers. Okay. A bird who knocks before delivering his message. And why are elephants wiser than chickens? You must know this one.
Of course.
Have you ever heard of a Kentucky fried elephant?
Oh,
Okay, here's the last one, I think. What do you call a rabbit with fleas?
Hair razor.
Bugs Bunny. All right, guys. Have a good Merry Christmas. We'll see you around, and we'll get back to this next year, okay? Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thanks,